Sometimes people get to positions in the media and you wonder, how did that happen? Like, how is that person there? Maybe some of you say that about me. Maybe some of you say, well, I could do a much better job at that job than him. He's a dope, right? I'm sure a lot of people say that. And maybe in certain cases it's true. But I'd have to say that when you put a Mount Rushmore up of the four biggest dummies in media, this woman would make that list.
And he's one of these guys who, he's like Clarence Thomas, black Republican who believes in pulling yourself by your bootstraps, rather than, to me, understanding the systemic racism that African Americans face in this country and other minorities. He doesn't get it, neither does Clarence.
Right.
And that's why they're Republicans.
Yeah.
All right, so that's The View. That's Joy Behar. That's on a panel with, I think, two other black women. And the rich white woman is giving a lecture on racism. And you want to hear it again? Talking about newly presidential candidate Tim Scott.
Guys who, he's like Clarence Thomas, black Republican who believes in pulling yourself by your bootstraps, rather than, to me, understanding the systemic racism that African Americans face in this country and other minorities. He doesn't get it, neither does Clarence.
Right.
And that's why they're Republicans.
So there's once again, this is what's wrong. This is everything that's wrong with the left. A white woman speaking from a position of complete privilege, right? Nobody has any idea how that woman is on The View giving America her opinions. She is going to tell a black man who is running for president, apparently, that he's not black enough. He's not black enough for my taste. Damn it. Right? Him and that other black guy, Clarence Thomas. They're just not the right kind of black.
And he's one of these guys who, he's like Clarence Thomas, black Republican who believes in pulling yourself by your bootstraps, rather than, to me, understanding the systemic racism that African Americans face in this country and other minorities. He doesn't get it, neither does Clarence.
Right.
And that's why they're Republicans.
Yeah.
They gave her like a feigned laugh, because even the people on the panel, I think, were like, wow, shut up. Let us, being Whoopi and the other one, let us discuss this. This is probably more in our wheelhouse. Just shut up. That's story one. Story two, I've been talking about this from the beginning, and it looks like tomorrow Ron DeSantis, this is the word, either tomorrow or sometime today, Ron DeSantis will make his announcement for a run for the president of the United States, which I have thought from the beginning was probably a mistake. And it's going to obviously muddy up the playing field and bloody up the playing field. And Megyn Kelly was on a podcast, and she said it exactly as I said it. I may have said it first, but she said it better.
Everybody else could win if Trump runs. So, and
Really?
I don't know.
You think if they got on a stage, you don't think that DeSantis is crafty enough or stands enough? Really?
No, I don't even think that a little. I think Trump sucks up all the energy in every room, no matter what. And even someone as skilled as a politician and smart policy-wise as DeSantis can't overcome that. He can't. You really think the hardcore MAGA is going to abandon Trump for DeSantis? They're not. They like DeSantis, but they don't think it's his turn. They think Trump was screwed out of his last election, that he was screwed out of his first term by all the craziness, the Russiagate and so on. And they think he is entitled. He deserves another shot at it. Like the hardcore Trump faithful is unshakable. They like DeSantis, but they would never cross Trump for him. And they think that DeSantis owes his political career to Trump. Like, if forced to choose, they will choose Trump. So DeSantis can't take him down. It's like the line in War Games, the only winning move is not to play.
She is 1,000% right. Bullseye. You can't be more right. She said it again better than I ever have, but it's exactly the sentiment that I've had from the beginning. That's exactly what's going to happen. Now, whether or not DeSantis is running either to build some sort of political clout or a war chest or, for a run in 4 years, more name recognition, more time up on stage, knowing it's not his turn, or maybe he's just rolling the dice that somehow a miracle happens, or maybe he's rolling the dice knowing he has to start early, that Trump's indictments will actually eventually turn off a chunk of the population, and he'll be able to somehow squeak out a win in some of these battleground types of states. That may be what they're telling him. I would agree with Megyn Kelly that if they're all racing towards the same finish line, in the end, it won't even be close. Trump will have the nomination. That's story number 2. That's how we begin the show today. We'll come back. I'm going to talk about how we're destroying the planet after the 6:30 break. Stick around. You're listening to 94.9 News Now and Stimulating Talk.